This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2020 Torque Model T322. Okay, I'm here on the door side of the trailer, walking towards the rear. Okay, so I'm not going to drop open the door during this video here. It's pretty self-evident how it works. But we'll go over most every other thing. When you come here to pick it up, we'll go through the rest of that also. Alright, so you have power stabilizers. One switch operates each side. One side is going to come down faster than the other. That's pretty typical. So sometimes they come down completely on their own, and then the other one follows. We'll see what happens here. Let me get in here and adjust that a little bit. There we go. Oops. Now here comes the other one down there. You can probably see it. So obviously you're not lifting the trailer with these. You're just stabilizing it, taking the wiggle out of it. The front will have one switch for the two front jacks. See if it'll slip past there, or after you actually can bring it up a bit and get it the next time. Let's see. There it goes. Like so. Okay, so you have one switch for the rear, another for the front. This door goes right into your garage. Okay, you have your water and power here. So basically the most common way to get water to this trailer is through the city water connection, which is right here. You're just going to hook it up, turn it on, you're all set. Now if the campground you go to does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can fill the onboard water tank right here. You just turn on the 12-volt pump inside and it'll pump the water. You just have to fill it ahead of time, obviously. Now this has black tank flushes here. I'll show you that when we get to the other side what they're for. Basically you're going to leave the black tank valve open. You're going to put your hose on it, on this fitting here, turn it on, and it's going to spray out the inside of the black tank. But make sure you leave the valve, the dump valve, open so too much pressure doesn't build up. Also, this is just for a sprayer. There's a blue, it's probably blue. Either way, there's a coiled sprayer in this trailer somewhere. I'll show you when we get to it. Okay, so we got an entertainment door here, yes. So you got a cooktop here, a TV, obviously, a refrigerator. Now let's see, for this cooktop, let's see what we got down here. We should have some kind of a hookup, yeah. So here's your LP quick connect right down here. Let me adjust my monitor so I can see if I've got a picture of it, yeah. So you'll hook the LP hose for your outside range top right there. Okay. And you have a basin in there, but you do have running water, but it just has a basin, it looks like, yes? Nice. Alright, so your water heater, the switch to operate it are inside. This one works on both gas and electric. To operate it, the switch is inside. I just need to show you that right here where my finger is. Let's see if I can get a picture of it here. Right here. That's where the drain is. Takes an 1/16 socket, 6-point, to drain the water heater tank. Also, always make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn it on. You can't dry fire it, you got to make sure there's water in there. Okay, you got a power awning, outside speakers. There's your front stabilizer switch. That's the blue sprayer I told you about. These are override cranks. This one you can actually use to, let me go to the other side and make sure I'm giving you the right information here before I talk. Let me look at we've got a fitting here. Okay, right there. Okay, that crank I just showed you with the cylinder on the end with the slot cut in it, you can put it on this stabilizer jacks and crank them manually from the off door side if you need to. Also, the other crank in there, if you pull, this is your power tongue jack here, if you pull this plug out of the top here, you can put that 3/4 inch crank right on there and crank this manually if you have to in case it fails. So you can always get yourself out of trouble. You could also use a 3/4 inch socket on a drill for that if you wanted to. And this is just a dump hose. Okay, you have the kill switch for the battery right there. So if you want to shut your battery off, you can kill it right there, but only do that when you put it in storage. Obviously, if you're using the trailer, you want the battery on so it'll charge from your tow vehicle and it'll charge from your power converter. So only when you go into storage, you'll shut that off. 2 LP tanks, power tongue jack, deep cycle marine battery. This is just if you wanted to purchase a solar panel to charge your battery, you could plug it in right here. That's all that's for, just to charge your battery. Let's see if I can do it this time. Oh, I gotta use 2 hands. Hold on. Just want to make sure there's nothing else over here besides your generator here. Okay, so the generator, you can pull the cover off and you can operate it from there. We're not going to do that. We're going to use the switches inside. You can do it either way. There's the exhaust for it right there. Fill station to put fuel in for it. Okay. Let's come back here. Of course, I don't have the key in my pocket. That's typical. This fill station is for your tank, for your 4-wheelers or dirt bikes or whatever you have. There's your gauge, and behind here is your pump, or not your pump, but your nozzle and hose. Okay. All right. You have a 50 amp system. Satellite and cable through, and these are your dump valves here. This one is strictly a black, it looks like. Let's see what it says about it here, if it says anything. Let me see. Yeah, so black, and there's going to be another one up here somewhere, right? It's under the slide out. Let's go come up here. There we are, right there. So you have a gray and another black right there. Okay, so remember I told you about the black tank flushes. You can leave the black tank valve open, put the hose on there. Now, one thing you should know, this is the service panel for the refrigerator. As you can see, it's got this hose hanging out right here. That's to drain condensation out. That should always be hanging out like that so it drains to the outside. You got a ladder to get on the roof, which is good. You want to inspect the roof at least 3 times a season. The manufacturer suggests you go out there in the spring and the fall, and once in the middle of the summer. Go up there and look at the sealant on your roof. Make sure it's good and tight, no cracks or separation starting. So make sure you do that. Also, that housing up there tells us this is pre-wired for a backup camera. If you wanted to add a Furrion backup camera, it goes right there. Okay, so let's go inside. Okay, so let's see if we got any lights here. Let's have it shut down, of course. Okay. So your water pump is right here. To light your water heater is right here. Right. These are just lights here, like so. You can check your levels here. That's your battery. Fresh water is empty, black is empty, gray is empty, and your second auxiliary is empty. As they fill, they'll graduate up in 1/3 increments, obviously. And once you get past 2/3, you have to start thinking about dumping the tanks. Your awning switch is here for your power awning. It goes out 8 feet, and you'll see it when the awning tube appears after it rolls out. You'll see that it's all the way out. Just make sure you don't leave it out unattended. If you're leaving the campsite, make sure you roll it in so it doesn't get damaged. And this, of course, is your slide-out switch here. To operate your thermostat, you just hit it once to light it up, and then you go through the modes: fan, air conditioner, and furnace, and off. Just remember, there's a lag time between anytime you choose like if you choose the AC, there's going to be a 5-second or more lag time before it turns on. All right. Alright, let me look over here to see if there's anything I should tell you about in here besides storage. You've got theater seats, just so you know. It's quite a neat system, really, when you look at it. Up here in the front bedroom, the main thing to know is that this is that's for your TV hookup if you wanted to hang a TV in here. And there's actually a backing plate right here if you need it. You got an escape window over here. To escape from it, through it, you're just going to go out like this basically, and then you'll pull the red tab and pull the screen out, and you can roll out in an emergency. Alright, let's come through the kitchen here. The radio plays DVDs and CDs. You can stream off this USB here. It has 2 zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside, 2 is outside. You can hook up with Bluetooth and stream from your phone or tablet with this, so it does a lot. Of course, you've got a TV above it on a bracket. Your microwave is like any other microwave, except, I mean, some are like this, but this one has a built-in fan and a built-in light, so you can, it's got a 2-speed fan, and then of course light, and it vents to the outside. Now make sure, let me see if I went through this, let me look out here. Okay, no, that's good. Okay, so, your range, you always want to keep the cover closed when you're traveling, because it'll break for sure. So basically, I don't know if the gas is on, but we'll find out here. No, we must have shut it off. So, anyway, you turn the gas to light, and then you just spark it by turning this clockwise this way, and it'll light. The oven is a little different. There's a pilot light under here, all the way to the back on the bottom. There's a pilot light. So what you'll do, you go to the awning knob, and you go to the picture of the flame, which is pilot. You'll depress it and hold it in. Continue to hold it in, and then you spark this clockwise until the pilot light down here lights. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so, and then you go to operating temperature, and it cycles like an oven does, but when you shut it off, the flame obviously goes off, but so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what else we've got here. Refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator. That means it'll work on 110 AC or on LP gas. So you turn it on here, right? You want to basically run it on auto. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it automatically seeks out electricity. If you can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. Or if you're running it on electricity, and let's say in the middle of the night you have a power failure, it'll automatically switch over to gas so you don't spoil your food. So auto is where you want to be with that. You can run it dedicated to gas that way if you choose to, but if you put it on auto and there's no electricity, it will switch to gas. The other thing to know about this is a thermistor. That's how you set the temperature. You're basically going to slide this up as high as it goes. This is just a cylinder on the end of this wire here. That's the actual thermistor that's inside of a clip that holds it in place. So you're gonna put it up till the wire's taut, and you know that it's up all the way and it's going to be as cool as it can get. Okay, so the garage. Let's see what we got here light-wise. You got a separate thermostat, so we got another AC up here. Yep, sure enough. And of course your TV hookup. This is your bed lift here. Let's see, hopefully it's not pinned anywhere. Where is it? Let me make sure before I do anything I'll regret. Yes, it actually, we're in good shape here. Let's see here. So, this goes up and down obviously. If you keep it going, it will, you have to unpin it, but it will push the top bunk all the way to the ceiling out too, obviously, along with the bottom, so you can fit your stuff in here. These are your tables here that you see the post sticking up here in front of your seats. Those are your tables, right? This obviously folds into a bed, but if you fold them back, I'll do one of them here so you can see it. As if I can do it here. Let's see here. Do we have it pinned or not? Let me see. I'm gonna have to come back to that. At the risk of breaking it, I thought I knew. Oh, okay, like that. I think that's it. No, once again. Anyway, let's just put it this way. I'll have to humble myself here. I'm not familiar with this particular one, so we'll when you get here, we'll go over it with you. By then, I'll know how it works. I guess I could read the directions, but either way, this will fold back into 2 sofas that are facing each other, or like I said, you could fold it into the bed position and send them both up to the ceiling, this one and this one, all the way to the ceiling, to make plenty of room for your 4-wheelers or motorbikes or whatever you got. Okay? Alright, so there's a second toilet back here, obviously. That's why you have 2 black tanks and 2 black tank flushes, one for each one. The thing, I'll go over the other bathroom because it's more complete, but keep in mind you got a built-in fan with a vent. If you ever want to, you can put a vent cover, like a Ventmate or a Max Air cover or whatever, over these, so it keeps you could open them during the rain and that sort of thing. Let's walk to the bathroom here. See what we can find. Well, before we get to the bathroom, I'll talk to you about the power converter, which is right here. First I'll tear that off. Now this power converter converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So when you open it up, you've got regular household style 110 fuses, right? They're all labeled. Then the power is converted over to 12 volt DC on this side. You see you got 12 volt fuses and they're all labeled. If any of these blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see them through this tinted plastic here, so you would know that a fuse blew. Also, when you're plugged in, it'll send. It's a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery up front has, and it'll send as many amps as it needs to keep it charged. Okay. All right. So here we are. The sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Remember, all the plugs are wired through a GFCI. This one's going to have 2 GFCIs, I'm sure. One's probably in the garage and one here. So keep in mind, if you're using the plug outside and it pops, you're going to reset it here. Your fan and switches right here. The thing to know about the toilet, any RV toilet, I don't think we have any water hooked up. That's just residual water pressure. You flush it with this pedal right here. So the bottom line is you got to have chemical and some water in there to start using it. So when your black tank is empty, your black tank is directly below, for example, just so you know. So when you get in here, you pull the campground, you hook up your power and water, that sort of thing. You come inside. Then you're going to take whatever chemical you use, 1 dose, and you're going to put it right in there. Right? Then you're going to step on the pedal, and you stand on it till you put about a gallon or 2 of water in there. There's no way to tell exactly what that is, right? You're just going to use common sense. You have to have chemical and some water in the black tank before you start using it. If you're going to, and the same thing goes for the bathrooms or the toilet in the rear too. So if you're going to, let's say you're going to stay another week at the campsite and your tanks are full and you get them dumped, you would come back in and repeat this procedure because your black tanks are empty now. You'd put chemical in and a gallon or 2 of water. Always put the water in there, chemical, or you'll regret it, and you'll think about me. When you do, make sure you do that. It's important. Otherwise you'll have a mess. Alright, so let me see what I forgot here, if anything. There should be a carbon monoxide and LP gas detector here somewhere that I haven't found yet. Let me look around. Maybe it's behind this door. I guess not. It's always along the floor line somewhere. Where am I missing here? Talk about knowing your product, huh? Well, all I can tell you is here, and I'll find it. Oh, here it is, way down here. I just walked past it. So right here, we're at the end. So you can see we're at the end of the sink here. This is a carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like that. If it goes off, it'll either detect an LP or carbon monoxide buildup. You take everybody outside, shut the gas off at the front, and then figure out what's going on. Okay? Don't ignore it, obviously. It's hardwired to the battery, so you can't really ignore it. So make sure it's always green like it is. And also, this one is probably, I'm sure it's a low battery alarm too. So if it beeps very, very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low for some reason, okay? Alright, so I think I've got it now. You'll be able to put the deck down when you pick it up, and you'll see how the fences fold into place and everything. So these are the pins laying on the floor here. They're the pins for your bed to pin it into position. All right, we'll go over that also. Okay. All right, well, thanks for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember what I said about inspecting your roof and all the sealant on your trailer? That's very important. Everybody who owns a trailer has to do that. Also, keep in mind you have to winterize this in the fall, of course, so you got to learn a bit about that. Unless you may already know. You're buying a nice trailer like this, you probably have experience with them. So, but it has to be winterized. And always make sure that there's water in the water heater tank before you turn it on. Okay, thank you.